All right, so I'll be cleaning the bird cages. Well, cage. I should say the bird's cage. Sorry for the mess out here. It's that time to be cleaning all the cages. Everything's just a wreck. But hey, animals are fine. So to start with, I take out all their food and water. Hi guys. Hi. You can see Stapy's closest to me is missing a foot. Somehow she managed to break it on something inside the cage. Unfortunately, I did not notice until it was already necrotic. So it fell off and it has healed. So he is doing just fine. But I take out their food and water first because don't want them pooping on something I just cleaned. And I get rid of the top layer, then the good seed, unless I see any poop, then I would empty it completely. Now I come into the room to get their second set so I can rotate them. It's just much easier to have a second set so I can rotate. That way I can get them back to normal quicker. And then I put the old, and then I can see there's eaten seed at the bottom. So I just dump it out, leave the good seed there. Miles is sticking out of his hide. If he wants to be held, he will definitely be out and about climbing and trying to get my attention. And there's Bun Bun.
Hi, Bun Bun. Hi, Bun Bun. Hi, Bun Bun. Hi, Bun Bun. Yeah, she's a good Bun Bun.
And instead of bird liners, I got the perfect size shipping paper. And I just used 2 of them because it's just a little too short. But it's much cheaper than getting actual bird liners. Sorry for the darkness. This is clean wipes for bird habitats. I get it from Petco. And they work perfectly, except sometimes, just like baby wipes, they stick to themselves. So we'll take one out, put the other one back in. It's important to keep these sealed, just like wipes. Retains the moisture. Yes, you can see another closet full of animal stuff. Oh, hi, Bun Bun. Want a treat? You can see she stays on the rug until she sees her treat, and then she's like, I will venture on to the slippery floor because I love my treats. These are freeze-dried fruit. Most important is there's no added sugars. So she shouldn't eat a whole bunch of these, but they're still fine. It's just like giving her a real piece of apple. And I get her different flavors. So now I come back to the bird cage. You can see they make a mess. Take out the ladder. And you can see Stapy's on the top back there. Since she can't fully balance yet without that other foot, she's learned that that little perch up there lets her sit normally. Stapes and triquetral are both male zebra finches. That way you don't end up with more zebra finches. And my daughter named them. They're both bones of the human body. Stapes in the ear, triquetral, yeah, I think it's in the hand somewhere, but my daughter, if she ever sees this, will correct me. Her and I were big fans of the TV show Bones. And my daughter can now, by sight, tell every bone in the human body. And I just try and get off any poop to keep the bacteria to a minimum. If the cage gets too bad, I have a second one, which was my original one, which fell off the wall thanks to my cat jumping up here and knocking it off while I was on vacation. Thankfully, my oldest son used to work at a pet store and was able to come fix the cage and get it back in there. But now you can't see, but behind that thing on the back wall, it's bolted to the wall, so it can't come down. Because my cat had gotten on that table. Yes, you. Hi. It was you. Jumped from the table, grabbed the cage, and pulled it down. That was before I had the Wise cameras on every animal. So we didn't know about it till quite a bit later, but both Stapes and triquetral, as soon as the cage was put back together, flew into the cage. So they actually like their home. And I take out this, and on a deep clean, I will clean underneath. But that's not poop, that's just food and that confetti paper that they love to play with. Still have those out to weigh the snakes later. Hi, bye. Try and keep as much seed contained as I can. And again, the main reason for cleaning, yes, it looks better when it's cleaned, but the main reason is to stop bacteria growth so we don't make them sick. Yes, I am slightly OCD, and there are just some of these spots where it will not come out. But it's been sanitized, so we'll stop the spread of bacteria. And I have a second one of these that goes with the cage in case this one gets really bad and I have to do a deep clean. So now that's cleaned off. I use Vivo paper towels. I'm not a fan of cheap paper towels because they really don't do a very good job. And I prefer these to the other brands. And it has a select size, so I could use a smaller one if necessary. So now that's clean. Separate the two sheets so I overlap as much as possible. And I used to be able to just put those in there, but when they get wet from their baths, these papers shrink and leave the edges open. And if any tiny little piece of this paper sticks up through their cage, they will try and pull it out just like they do the confetti. hangers that I have in their cage. So I just tape it on to keep as much of the seed contained as possible. Hi, Bun. You got an itch? Yes. And Bun Bun has free roam of anywhere, but she stays anywhere there's a rug. And then at night I put her in her room just to make sure that her and Whoopi, the cat, don't get into it, or she doesn't start eating something that she shouldn't. I've kept an eye on Whoopi and Bun Bun for a long time. Whoopi has swatted her a couple of times, never with claws out. And Whoopi is honestly terrified of Bun Bun. So they leave each other alone for the most part. And there's Whoopi. Right, Whoopi? Yeah, hi, boo. So now with this clean liner, put that back in. And I've had them for almost 3 years, and they're not like a parakeet, a parrot, a cockatiel. They'll never really adapt to coming to my finger. And I don't try to because there is no need to. I'll just let them be. So now, for their food, fill that up. And throughout the week, I make sure they have plenty of food. And you'll see, I will put their bird bath in. When I first got them, they said, yeah, give a bird bath. Some birds like to use a bird bath once a week. Not mine. They like to daily. So I make sure they have access to a nice bath. The birds bathe, they get in the water, squat down and flap their wings, and it gets the water throughout their feathers. Then they jump to a safe location and flap again to dry off. And that cage is adequate for the zebra finches, as they're not like a regular bird that can fly around for several minutes. They're pretty much just quick bursts of flight to get from point A to point B. And so you'll never see them just flying randomly in the air. I should say they don't soar. Now, I could be wrong, and I'm sure someone, whoever eventually sees this, will say, nope, you're wrong. Well, that's just what I've learned and from what I've known. But the most important thing is yes, that is a very suitable cage for them. They're not a social bird, like a parrot or a parakeet, but you still have to keep them paired. So if one of mine does happen to die, I will either need to get a second one or surrender mine to a pet store or someone else that has another zebra finch. And it has to be a zebra finch. It can't be another type of finch. There's their water. And I use this for their water, their actual drinking water. They never actually drink out of this. They drink out of their bath. But I can hear them taking a bath in this on occasion, and that meant I forgot to fill their regular bath. So I'll know that from the sound. So now they're done. Now I just have to clean out for the lizards, clean out their old and again, this is the Fluker Super Scrub. Just recently found out that Fluker's is actually in Louisiana. It's actually Fluker's farm, and that's where I order my soldier fly larvae from. I've ordered from other places before, and especially during the summer, they arrive dead, the soldier fly larvae and mealworms. It's not from the flight or the travel here. It's when they sit in my actual mail delivery truck from our neighborhood all day before they get to me, and they succumb to the heat. They're actually more tolerant of cold than they are of heat. And I've said before, with my soldier fly larvae, I keep them in a mini fridge that stays around 50 degrees. And that just stops them from pupating. It basically puts them in more of a dormant state. But the Fluker's Farms allows me to do a hold for pickup at the post office, so they're always in a climate-controlled environment. And then I just go and pick them up. And I do like the fact that they're a local Louisiana company. So I give these a good scrubbing. You can see one of them is in the bath now, and they're out. And when I notice the bath is getting empty, or if I notice any poop in it, then I will give them a new fresh bath and regular water at the same time. So these are all clean. And I put these in here. This is along with Bun Bun's bowl, but this is a drying mat, just so it doesn't get the wood wet. And this tube down here is for the new filters on the aquarium, so I can do an easy water change. But that's it for the birds. I do that on a weekly basis. Obviously top off their food and water and baths throughout the week, but that's their cleaning, and it happens every Monday. Until next time.